Most of us think of beer as a cheap commodity. It is what you grab from a convenience store cooler on a Friday night, or what gets pushed in multi-million-dollar sports marketing campaigns. But in the ruins of ancient Sumer, around 4000 BCE, archaeologists brushed the dirt off a clay tablet and realized they were looking at a set of brewing instructions. This beer recipe is one of the oldest written documents ever discovered. The timeline actually stretches back much further. In the Zagros Mountains of modern-day Iran, scientists found clay vessels from 9000 BCE containing calcium oxalate, a compound that only forms during the barley brewing process. People were producing beer 4 millennia before the first pyramids were built. Wild grains are extremely hard to eat raw. They require intense grinding and cooking. But if you soak them in water, naturally occurring yeast ferments the sugars into a mildly alcoholic, sour porridge. This drink provides immediate calories and, crucially, stays safe to consume longer than plain grain mush. This evidence supports a theory that has gained serious traction. The desire for beer, not bread, was the original reason humans began cultivating wild grains. Nomadic hunter-gatherers decided to stay in one place and build permanent settlements to ensure a steady supply of fermented barley water, making civilization a byproduct of this prehistoric discovery. In early societies, beer functioned as caloric infrastructure, a dense, safe lifeline required for surviving back-breaking physical labor in the desert sun. The ancient Egyptians operated large-scale bakeries and breweries to serve the laborers who constructed the Great Pyramids at Giza. These workers were paid in daily rations of roughly 4 to 5 liters of beer per person. While 5 liters a day sounds staggering, ancient Egyptian beer hovered between 2 and 4% alcohol. Because it was rich in B vitamins and protein from the yeast, it served as a genuine food source rather than a party drink. Thousands of years before the first minted coins appeared, beer served as a unit of economic exchange and a societal stabilizer. Some of the earliest functioning economies on Earth ran on a grain-based beverage. In medieval Europe, contaminated water made small beer a daily biological necessity. Because the brewing process involved boiling the water, the resulting liquid was free of the pathogens that cause deadly diseases, making it safe for everyone, including children. Christian monks became Europe's first professional brewers. They utilized beer to survive long periods of fasting and implemented strict quality control and record-keeping that small household brewers couldn't match. These monastic brewers introduced a critical biological upgrade, the widespread use of hops. Before this, brewers used a mixture of local herbs called grut, which did not preserve the beer very well. Hops contain alpha acids that act as a natural preservative. This bitterness balanced the sweetness of the malt and, more importantly, extended the liquid's shelf life from a few days to several months. Shelf stability turned a perishable local product into a robust international commodity. Hopped beer survived sea voyages across the Baltic and the North Sea, funding the construction of the cathedrals, hospitals, and libraries that defined medieval Europe. Despite these innovations, brewers still struggled with batches that would mysteriously turn sour. They understood the process, but the microscopic mechanics of fermentation remained a mystery for centuries. In 1857, Louis Pasteur mapped the biological mechanics of fermentation, proving that yeast was a living microorganism. This discovery allowed brewers to control their environment and ship bottled beer without it spoiling. This biological breakthrough was paired with Carl von Linde's 1873 invention of the ammonia refrigerator. Before this, lagers required cold underground caves for storage, which limited their production to specific regions and seasons. Mechanical refrigeration removed these geographic constraints. Anyone, anywhere could now mass-produce the crisp golden pilsners that were becoming the global standard for what beer should look and taste like. The quest to optimize beer directly drove the industrial era, fueling the creation of rail networks, bottling plants, and massive global distribution systems. In the early 20th century, the American temperance movement broke this 9,000-year chain of evolution. In 1920, the 18th Amendment went into effect, making the sale and transport of alcohol a criminal offense. Prohibition decimated the industry. Thousands of regional, family-owned breweries were wiped off the map, and the few that survived did so by pivoting to ice cream or soda. This chart shows how the domestic landscape collapsed. Even after repeal, the industry faced relentless consolidation. By the 1970s, active U.S. breweries plummeted from 1,300 to fewer than 100. As the line flatlines through the 1970s, regional diversity disappeared. A few industrial giants controlled the entire market, producing identical, flavorless light lagers designed for mass appeal. Beer was stripped its identity as a crafted local technology. It was reduced to a commodity, a lifestyle brand defined by marketing budgets rather than ingredients. The rebellion began in 1965 when Fritz Maytag saved Anchor Brewing in San Francisco. He insisted on traditional methods and full-flavored styles at a time when every market signal favored the bland and the cheap. The real catalyst arrived in 1978 when President Jimmy Carter signed the bill legalizing homebrewing. That single piece of legislation triggered a surge of amateur experimentation in garages and basements across the country. Many of those hobbyists went professional, growing the industry from under 100 breweries to over 9,000 today. This American movement sparked a global revival, reclaiming the variety and locality that had defined brewing for millennia. The next time you open a beer, you are participating in a tradition that predates written history. From the clay pots of the Zavros Mountains to the stainless steel tanks of a modern craft brewery, beer remains the constant engine that builds and sustains our communities.